I'm Gadis of Made by Mutiara and welcome to my channel. I'm a creative calligrapher over on Instagram, and recently since December of last year, I've started posting my content on TikTok. And the trend on TikTok that I'm seeing other calligraphers do is to make name lettering videos, and that's something I've also been doing. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you my process of how I do my name lettering videos, from filming it to editing it, so that if you want to get started on TikTok and sharing your lettering abilities, then you can do that as well. Don't mind the mess, this is just what my setup looks like. First thing, you need a phone holder. So the one I have here is a gooseneck. If you don't want it to be shaky while you're doing your lettering videos, have it clamped on another surface. So for me, I have it on my windowsill, but you can have it on like another table or even a shelf. Next thing, this is the light source that I'm gonna have. Obviously, I'm not filming it now, but I just want to show you what my light setup looks like. I just have one single source light. This is a very strong studio light, and then for the UV light, this is actually a very small lamp, and I have it tied on with rubber bands. So you see it loops around, and then it holds it in place, and it's in exactly the angle that I want it to be. So you can also notice I put tissue paper here, so this is going to help it like diffuse the UV light. So it stays there pretty much permanently, and then I just switch it on and switch it off. And of course, I have the same sort of like diffusing effect with my lamp here, but it's falling apart. It's okay, like, you know, life is like that sometimes. The next thing I do to bounce off the light is to make use of these foam boards over here. So I got these foam boards from Blix, if I'm not wrong. I just taped it at the back so it creates this like shield. Of course, it's blocking the light from the window, but if I on this light, it'll bounce the light off. And then to further maximize the amount of light in this area, I'm going to use another whiteboard. This is like a board that I use supposedly for like flat lay backgrounds. I put it at the top over here. So at night, it will actually be, this particular area will actually be lit up quite well. So this is the setup that I use for every single one of my name lettering videos. This is what my setup looks like. I'm gonna be using Caran markers, and very suitably in my TikTok container over here, this is where I'll hold my phone. And if I want to do neon lettering, so I have this piece done in neon pink. So after I do my lettering, I have this one transition that I like where I turn off the light and you can see the UV light effect. But when I turn the light on, even though the UV light is already on, you cannot really see it. So yeah, that's what I do. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to lettering. So now we're gonna get ready to letter, and you can actually see the screen recording of what's happening in real time on the left. The first thing I do before I press record is to do a long press on the screen so that the AFAE lock comes up, and I increase the brightness just by a slight bit. This helps to ensure that the camera doesn't go out of focus, so you don't get that like zoom, zoom, zoom kind of effect happening. And then I just slowly do my lettering and I change the color. I think every piece I use at least 2 to 3 colors, but of course, what kind of style of lettering you want to do is completely up to you. So FYI, I actually do all my filming at one shot. Like I do, I think 10 to 15 names at a go. And yeah, don't mind the pen just rolling in like, hello, what do you think you're doing there? Later, I'll do the editing. You can see me decide whether I'm going to leave it in or take it out. So when I'm running out of space, I'm just going to shift the paper in a bit. And when I'm done, I actually press the pause button on my phone. This is just easier for me to just make sure that every single shot that I'm using is in one single video, so when I edit later, everything is there. But of course, if you cannot do like one continuous shot like I can on my Samsung phone, then of course you can just stop the clip and then start again for the very final clip, which I'm doing here, where I'm just doing a final swoop in with the markers. So just a pro tip, I'm actually holding the corner of the paper just to make sure it doesn't move, and then I'm just gonna record for like a few seconds before stopping the whole video. And then once I'm done, we're gonna move on to lettering the neon names. So for the neon lettering, the first thing that I do is to just set up my shot, bring the camera in closer if I need to. And this is the one where I actually don't do the long press on the camera screen. I'm just gonna record as is, because later on when I switch on or off the light, I want the camera to refocus itself. So I have the UV light on. You can see it glows very nicely. And this is ideally to be done when there's complete complete darkness, and I think you can see a slight light at the back, but I think that's fine. And then once I'm ready, I'm just gonna do the lettering, and of course once I run out of space, I'm just gonna push the paper down a bit and then continue lettering from there. And once I'm happy with the shot, I'm going to press pause. And then I'm going to readjust the camera, get ready for the final shot where I swoop in the two markers. So if you can see, I have the grid on for my camera at all times. So this helps me to make sure that my lettering is centered throughout. And for some reason, I forgot to turn on the light after I do the final reveal for the neon lettering. So all I do is just to swoop in the two markers and then turn on the light. And just like that, I'm done with the filming. Now I'm gonna start editing the videos, and again, something that I do all the time when it comes to creating content, I will batch edit all of the videos almost at the same time. Technically, I could do without editing any of them, but personally, because the way I do my lettering, I change color every single time, I have to cut out the parts in between where I change pen color. But if I were to do like maybe just a single color and then I do lettering, then maybe I won't do as much edit. But personally, I like to refine the brightness and the contrast of the video, so I will still edit to maybe just not as much. The program that I'm using is the InShot app, again my favorite app. So if this is your first time watching, I'm gonna do a full run through about the whole thing, and if you want to follow along, don't mind if I go a bit fast at some parts, but you can pause and then catch up and then continue from there. So I have the app open over here. I'll put the screen recording over here, choose video, and you can see I actually did edit a bit more already, and I'll choose new, select the video, and if the canvas itself defaulted to square or whatsoever, just click on the canvas button, and then you can choose 1:1 and then adjust to zoom in and zoom out accordingly. But because this one I'm gonna be uploading to TikTok, so I want it in vertical format, it's already in the settings when I film it, so I don't have to change it. But let's say your settings are slightly different, then you can choose the TikTok format. You can see the symbol down there, and then that will automatically reframe your entire video. Very first thing I do is to trim off the first end, and I'm gonna stop up to the point where my pen touches the paper. So I do this just by moving the clip, just press on it and then move it and then stop here. So you can see it presses here, and then you want to scroll all the way to the part where they say split. So this is the one over here, and then the clip that is at the beginning, I want to take it away, and I'll press the trash bin and delete it. And then you can see I start off by lettering the word P. So wherever that ends, I will split the clip again. But before I do that, I'm gonna edit the whole clip first. If I were to split and then edit, then I have to edit every single bit. So I don't want to do that. I just want to edit, and then if there are any parts that seem like too bright or too dark, then I'll edit that one clip on its own. What you want to do is to press the filter button here. You can select the clip, press filter, and then click adjust. You can explore filters by all means, but I'm going to click adjust. And then from here, the order of which I edit is by lightness. So I'll bring it up to 20. That's my default. And then contrast, I'll bring it up to maybe 15. These two first, and then I'm going to move on to highlights. So these are my main 4 edits. Usually highlights is the same. Shadow, I can choose to go darker, but personally I just want my whole entire piece to be as bright as possible. So I'm going to move it up to positive 15. And then just to make my lettering piece look a bit more like HD, like high quality, I want to choose to sharpen it. So I'll choose sharpen, but you don't sharpen too much. So I usually just go until below 10, like 8. That's my preferred number. But with your video, please try and experiment, go up and down as much as you want, and then whatever setting works for you, then remember that number, because that setting you want to apply it to all of your other videos if you record it under the same conditions. And by all means, you can actually also choose to change the saturation, but for me, I can see here that because the colors I'm using is red, see, if I play up the saturation, it becomes too yellow. So for this video, I'm not going to adjust the saturation. Sometimes I increase warmth, but in this video I don't want to, so I'm pretty much happy with the edit, and I'll click the tick and then move on to the next thing. And that is to now split the clips to end and start right as when I start and stop lettering. So what do I mean by that? You see the letter P, P, and stop. So wherever I pause, that's where I press clip, split. And then I'm not gonna press play because I roughly know I can slowly go down the clip and see where I put down the next color. You see it comes in here. And then, okay, so right where I start writing, I'm just going to go back a bit and then split. And then the clip before that, because this is the empty space, I'm going to delete it. I'm just going to repeat this process until I finish lettering. So usually what I do is I press play. And then the moment I lift up my pen, I pause. Like that, and then split. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time, because later on we're going to put in transitions and then you still have to adjust the length of the clip here and there. So just estimate, you know, agak-agak where is it that you put down the pen, lift up the pen, split, and then delete the clips that are in between. Okay, I'm going to fast forward this part, but if you're doing it along with me, then let's do it together now. Last letter and play. I don't like this S, but it's okay. Okay, so I've done all the small clips in between. Now, because the way I planned my video when I filmed it is that I have a reveal with my pen coming in. So it's this part over here. So I'm gonna cut it off when, okay, see, my pens come in just to show what colors I use. So I'm gonna go back a bit right before it enters the frame, split the clip, and voila. And then I'll split. Usually for the last clip, I leave about 3 seconds. So at the very corner of your clip at the bottom, when you edit, you can see the duration. And this comes important to play later on, I'll tell you what. But for now, I'm actually finished with the video and it's at 18 seconds. My aim is to actually make it as short as possible, even until 12 seconds if possible. But sometimes with the number of letters and sometimes with the speed of my lettering, I cannot make it too fast. Because I think maybe if somebody were to watch this and I'm lettering their name, and then they can see like, okay, how she draw the stroke, like that, then they can follow in real time. Next thing, which is I think the very last thing you want to do, is to add transitions. It's up to you, but I personally prefer to add transitions. You're gonna click on, you see in between the clips there's this like slash. I don't know, it's a pen? No, it's just a slash. Tap on it and then you'll see the transitions available. I don't upgrade my InShot Pro, so I don't have access to all of the other transitions, but you can if you want to. Choose the first transition, which is like a cross dissolve. See, it just goes from one clip, dissolves to the next. So the timing of it, you can adjust to how fast that transition is or how slow you want it to be. It's up to you. I personally prefer 0.5 all the way. And the good thing about InShot is that whatever transition you choose, if it's the same throughout, just click the 2 arrows at the top left hand corner and then it will be applied to all of the clip transitions. So we're just gonna take a look one more time. A, R, good. Okay, yeah. And then continuing. Okay, good. And then sometimes it cross dissolves and then I'm already started writing it. So example, when you see here, after I dot the I, my S is already in the middle of writing. And I prefer to not have it in the middle of writing. I know it's like very small detail, but I notice it even if other people don't. So I'm gonna have to extend the start by a bit. So it's at 3.1 maybe. And then go. Much better, yes. Okay, so at the very end there, because it's the very last letter, I like that to be a bit of like a gap, like a bit of a space to finish it instead of transitioning straight away to the final bit. So I'm gonna extend the end maybe 3.4. I don't know how it looks like. And then up. There you go. There you go, much better. I am done, except maybe there's something that I want to show you that you can do to maybe adjust the duration of your clip, and that is to adjust the speed of maybe of the lettering of some bits. I'm saying off a lot, I'm so sorry. But if you tap every single clip, I usually try to do this when I realize that maybe, like example, this letter A. It's a short letter, but I take 3.5 seconds to letter it. P, 3.1. And technically they have like the same amount of strokes. I want to try to reduce it slightly a bit, okay? But like I said, I do want to have that real-time element, but I cheat a bit. Maybe I make it faster a bit. So I'm gonna go all the way down. I'm gonna select that clip first. So once it's selected, you'll see they have the 2 arrows at the side there. And then you go to speed. And to just maybe match the duration of this clip with the previous clip to 3.1 seconds, I'm gonna increase this by 1.2 and see how it goes. Oh, it's too much. It's 2.9 seconds, so it's too much faster already. So I want to do 1.1. Yeah, 3.1, see? So P, A, Okay, so it makes it faster slightly, and I know it looks like jaggy. I don't know if you can tell, like it's like, oh, why is it like stuttering a bit? This is just maybe the speed is applying, I'm not sure, but when I export it, it's fine. You don't really notice it. Maybe even you don't notice it now, but I do. So I'm gonna go to S because I think S also needs to be a bit faster, like 1.1. So it's just 10% faster. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so I have my total clip from 18 point something seconds earlier to now at 15.8 seconds, which I think is perfect, because if you want, you can also upload this to your Instagram Reels under 15 seconds. And I know like 0.8, just cut off the end lah. It's okay. Gonna watch once through and see how it goes. Okay. Yes. Okay, good. You see the way I slow down there? Okay, never mind. You know what? I'm gonna forgive myself. It's fine. Yeah, it's perfect. I like it. So no problem. Once it's okay, I'm going to save. It's at the top right hand corner. And then over here, you can choose resolution, frame rate, and it tells you the size of the clip. And this is actually a new update by InShot. So if you watch one of my previous tutorials from last year, that's like the older version. And I really like that they have this because it's handful. It's handy to know what is the size of your video. So for example, you can even choose 4K. 1080p is my preference. And then frame rate, I choose higher because that is giving me a higher quality. I hope. I don't know what it means actually, but I just think it's better. So 60 frames per second, and then you see it increases the size of the clip by a bit. It's fine. And then press save. And once you're done, you have your clip already over here, so you can see it played over here. And yeah, that's how I edit one of my TikToks. Okay, so now I'm gonna upload it to my TikTok video, and the way I do it is to reply to comments on my previous videos. So I found her comment, so I'm gonna click on it and then press the video icon on the left side, and this is how I reply. Oh, hello. So I'm gonna upload and then choose Paris and then next, and then I don't need to trim it or any sorts. I'm just gonna press next, and then that's my video. And then over here I'm gonna adjust the size of the comment box, put it to the side a bit, and then I'm also gonna edit the duration. And this is the duration where I usually stop right when the lettering ends and transitions to the final part where I slide in the marker. So I'm just gonna scroll. Okay, here, and then, okay, and then 12.8 seconds, enter. And then this is up to you. I'm not going to show you the process because I scared later I cannot copyright strike because of the music. I'm going to choose a sound, whichever sound they recommend me, maybe this one over here. And what I personally like to do, because I do like the sounds of the marker scratching, I'm gonna increase the original sound all the way. And then once you're done, press next, and then type in whatever reply, use whatever hashtags, and then upload it as when you want. But if I'm not ready to upload, like me now, I'm not gonna upload it now. I'm gonna press drafts, and then it'll be inside my drafts. And then when I'm ready, I'll upload it to TikTok. And that is how I edit my lettering TikToks, from beginning to filming it and then to editing it. And at least you can learn the order of what to do when editing your videos. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions, or if you maybe want to start lettering on TikTok one day. It's definitely been helpful in helping me grow my TikTok account, because I am, you know, helping somebody do something that is catered especially for them. So it's like a personalization type of video. I personally try to only leave it to one reply per video just to make it manageable for me. And yeah, have fun with it, because that's what I'm having now. And you know what? I actually get to utilize my brush pens, which was something that I didn't do last time. If you found this video useful, then give this a thumbs up. And of course, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Made by Mutiara. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want more videos about lettering on social media. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!